Welcome to Toy Hill Studio. My name is Kendall Kessler. Decided to get back to the SKYLINE Beauty series again. I wanted to do one more of Austin, Texas, this time with the bridge. A lot of people have been commenting about my really strong expressive colors in this series. And I really do tend to stick to that for this series. But a lot of my other work doesn't have real strong colors. And I decided, since I'm so eclectic, this time I'm going to try to do kind of a pastel type work. And I'm going to take all my paint and use a lot of white with each color and see what happens. This one I have a feeling is going to take a while because I'm going to have to use a small brush and just hope it doesn't go past the thing on my camera. But I'm just going to really just use very, very pastel colors and see what happens. And then I might change my mind, who knows. Got the light coming from that way. And just keep changing my brush. I'm not doing a representational, the way things look, painting of this. See, and I'm doing an expressive one. So I'm just going to keep changing colors, but I am going to keep them very, very, as we say, high value. And just, I'm not going to let a lot of bleeding happen. I started this out in a red magic marker because I thought the black would really look kind of strange as I do this. It might really conflict with these really soft colors. And so far I'm really not getting real light, so let's use even more white here. It's not as light as I was planning to do. Want to just get a very different look. It's always nice to do different things. A show I liked very much in the 70s, Monty Python's Flying Circus, I think that's what it was. One of the announcers would say, okay, now for something completely different. Always like that. Did such a great job. The actor in that, and I hope I'm not going to say the wrong name, I certainly should know it, is John Cleese was one of the actors. And he did a wonderful show after that called Faulty Towers, which I just thought was fantastic. He and Prunella Scales did just a wonderful, wonderful satire of hotel owners and a really, really crotchety guy in charge. And I thought it was very interesting. I looked into that and found out that the reason he did that is because he did come across somebody that he thought was unbelievably crotchety and difficult at a hotel. So I thought, hey, this might make a real interesting series, and I do think it was incredible. Okay, this is very, very tame for me. I may regret doing this, but as I've said many, many times, most artwork is done in a lot of layers. I can just go right over top of it, and since it's acrylic, I can go over top of it really quick. But I'm going to keep trying, see what happens here. I'm going to just fill it in with a bunch of different planes of color, of warm and cool colors, and just kind of see what happens. It might turn out better than I think. Right now, I'm not real crazy about it. I think I preferred the real zonky colors for this type of painting. But I'm going to go to the end and just keep on doing this. See if I start to like it better. As you can see, I got that a lot darker. Anyway, there's nothing like painting, as I said, and no matter what I do, I really enjoy doing it, and I am just really, really eclectic. I just recently finished a commission of 2 paintings on glass, not my paintings. These were paintings that were done 100 years ago, and they had to have been done in oils because acrylics has only been around since the 50s, and the paint's coming off. So this really nice patron, and has a lot of my artwork, brought it to me and just wanted to see if it would be possible for me to repair them. Well, at first I didn't think it was going to be any big deal. They were painted from the back, and when I tried to do that, no matter what I did, they you could still see the first layer. Because as I said, almost always paintings are done a lot of layers. So as I covered up from the back, the first layer that was a damaged layer still just showed right through. So I asked the painter, I said, well, how about if I paint it from the front? And I was kind of skeptical about that too. It took a zillion layers and the paint resisted a lot. And it's amazing, certain parts of the glass resisted more than others. It was quite an experience, but it turned out really good. He's very happy with them. I was just going to do one, and then he said, oh no, do the other one. And he's still thinking about the third one. He says it's not very damaged, so he's not sure about that. Okay, this is not anywhere near pastel-y as I thought I was going to do, but maybe I'll do it another layer. I think it's getting some interesting looks to it, but it's just awful tame for me. But sometimes it's nice to have something that's tame. I do have a few pieces, not a lot. I tend to be really into zonky color or real strong colors. Even my Blue Ridge paintings, I don't like to paint paintings of the Blue Ridge when the atmosphere is just kind of, to me, kind of bland, which is usually the middle of the day. Not a whole lot of color, and it's just not that interesting to me. So I tend to do a lot of evening or morning scenes. And one of my most popular, Sweet Pea on the Blue Ridge, has a lot of really nice wildflowers. Always love to capture a lot of wildflowers too. Just like a lot of artists were really into lots of color. And I know I've mentioned this before, but could be different people watching this time. Most artists tend not to have a favorite color. I certainly don't. But that's just because we work with so many. Someone says to me, blue is my favorite color. I start thinking, well, okay, manganese, Prussian, cobalt, how light, how dark, how intense. It's just kind of a weird question for artists. We just use so many that we tend not to have a favorite color. And I really don't. I know people don't believe that, but I really don't. I'm partial to certain ones a little more than others, but yeah, they're all colors to me. And there's just so many wonderful combinations that can be put together. And I can get into a monochromatic painting. I've seen some monochromatic paintings I like with just one color, but I do prefer lots of color. Okay, this is really, I think with all these YouTubes, it's just always a big experiment. And what I end up doing is kind of different from what I planned. And sometimes I change it a lot. The last one, I really changed it a lot. I mean, I started with something that was so different from what I usually do, and I really didn't like the way it turned out, that I changed it a whole lot. And then I was surprised to see on my website that more people were responding to the first one than the second one, which was a big surprise to me, because I thought the second one, where I got very, very complicated, turned out a whole lot better. Well, I guess some people don't like lots of colors. They like just a few. Another one of my very popular Skyline Beauty paintings of Memphis, Tennessee, is only in 2 colors. Really seem to see that one is very popular too. I think a lot of people, they have certain colors they like and certain colors they don't like. And so when you've got them all there, I think some people are just not as interested as when they have a few colors. This one was in yellow and green, 2 analogous colors. Of course, green has to be made with yellow. And I think that it was just something that really struck a chord. It was also very expressive. It may have only been 2 colors, but it was a very, very expressive skyline painting. There's all this foliage all through here. And I think I've only been in 10 minutes, so I'm going to go longer. I'm not going to quit real quick like I have been, because I've heard that it's really better to have a longer one. I'm starting to like this. I don't know, I guess probably the main problem is the white of the canvas. That always bugs me. I always have to cover it to really see the colors, because as I said before, white is all colors together. So it's very strong, and it just really fights big time with any color that's there. And the colors don't stand on their own very well until you get rid of that, which is why most artists do completely cover the paper or the canvas. But not always. Some artists like to keep it, to have that white. I guess for some people they think it's more of an accent. I see it more as a problem. But then I do like really strong colors, so you can certainly see why. I would not like that white fighting with my colors. Well, yeah, that's getting kind of a nice look. I think I could probably see going back into this once I get it done and just kind of reestablishing it a little bit and maybe getting even more pastel, maybe adding even more white into the next layers and see if that happens, see how that happens, see what happens. I'm getting tongue-tied here. I do know the English language, but I get very nervous. I am a painfully shy person, and even though there's nobody here, I am talking to people, and I tend to make some really weird grammatical errors when I talk to people, even if it's just on a camera. I did that when I was teaching, and it was really kind of embarrassing. And one time I just said, you know, I really do know the English language. I just get very nervous. And kids thought that was kind of cool. Okay, now see, the thing is, I'm probably going to want to cover the whole thing, but I might do this one as a layer one where I cover part of it and have that file available for people on my website, and then go through the whole thing. And have that one too, and of course then it'll be the final painting. And I think that's probably what I'm going to do with this one, because even though it's very delicate colors and it's not really fighting with the white as much because the colors are rather pastel, not as pastel as I thought it was going to make them. It's kind of holding its own anyway, fairly well, to my eye. We all see things differently. I can't stand having the little whites even in the here, so I'm definitely going to get rid of those. And definitely not what I thought I was going to do, but as I said, these YouTubes, I never know what I'm going to do. So I'm just doing a little bit more. And running out of white here. I'm going to have to get some more white out if I'm going to keep going. And then make some decisions. That's what artwork is all about. When I work from the Blue Ridge, it's still a lot of decisions. The how, the spacing, what a lot of people like to call composition, how I express myself in all the myriads of colors that are there, but then I do elaborate. Monet was criticized for just really copying nature. That's so untrue. He did not just copy nature. What he said was, I am making it look as good as it can look. That's nothing? I am working with nature, but elaborating and making it look as good as it can look. Even though his main aim was to try to get as much as you could see before the light changed. Which, you know, he knew you can't really do that. You cannot really get what's out there. No one knew that better than him. So that's why it's really foolish to say that, well, it's all he's doing is copying nature, and how creative is that? Because he wasn't. He was trying to, and he was bringing it out as best he could. Okay, I'm just putting in the reflection because I do want to have that of the water. And put a little bit of the water. I think I'll get a bigger brush here and finish this out. I don't want to do too much more. I think I'll put some real soft blue in the water. And then I'll be close to done. So much to do today, I'm sure we all do. It's a really hard thing to do this every week, but I've noticed that I am getting more attention on my channel and getting more friends to watch my work, and it's very important to me to sell my artwork. And this is one of the ways I am getting attention to get more sales. I don't want it to all pile up and be thrown away. Yeah, I need a little more water. This is going to take too much time. Keep bumping the camera. I don't know if it's really hitting. I'm bumping the back of it. Yeah, I think I'll just use a little more water here, and just have the water just part of the way, just like the buildings stop and you don't have the sky. I am just going to have the water part of the way at this point. And then I'll make a bunch of decisions afterwards as to what I really want to do with this. I think I'm about done. Or this layer. May go into it again. May not. I think I definitely will take a file of the way it looks now, because I think it has some very nice qualities to it. And it still has the lines from the magic marker that indicate the whole scene of Austin, Texas at this view. Okay, I think I'm just going to stop it right there and then make some decisions. I really think I'm going to do the rest of the water in the sky, because even though I think the colors are nice, I just think they'd be a whole lot nicer if we get rid of that white. So don't forget to click on the link to see the final painting, and then there are links to my website and to my shop on Etsy. I like to do 5 of these. This is the 5th one, so that I can have 5 in a selection on Etsy. Thank you for watching.